Welcome, everybody. Thanks for... Well, a chance to check out some stats for Shaedon Sharpe.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage. And it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. The guard pair are Henderson and Sharpe. Then it's Denny Avdia, and it's Pickett in at the 4th spot. And for Minnesota, the post tandem will be Towns and Reed. Dillingham is out there at Goose, and it's DeRozan in at the 3 spot. And Greg, when you're facing the front of a back-to-back, how much does that affect you as a player?
Before and after the game, for sure, it's on your mind. But once the whistle blows, you have to live in the moment. You can bet the coaches are very aware of it.
Well, and this is critical for Henderson's development. When he's knocking down threes with consistency, he is a problem.
Here's Cox. Last game out, 36 points. For him. And with an update from the sideline, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Now, he highlighted the problems that come along with facing a center like DeAndre Ayton. Coach said DeAndre impacts the game on both ends of the floor. He can score inside, shoot the mid-range jumper, and defensively, he can protect the rim and switch out on the perimeter. Certainly a talented young center. Back to you guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And here are the Trailblazers now, after the miss from Cox. Henderson, no one around him. It's 3-pointers off the mark.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
Portland had, Greg, one of the great guard combinations in Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter.
Man, that was one heck of a backcourt. And they really complemented each other so well. Drexler with his explosive scoring ability, and Porter who could just do a little bit of everything.
Ayton sets the pick for Henderson. Buries it from 3-point range. Henderson's got 6 points.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Gobert is checked in for the Timberwolves. And let's step aside for a minute to look at some of the point guards who have been doing a whole lot more than passing lately. They're the top scorers at that position over the last 10 games. And you look at Goose, leading the league in points per game. Such a great player. And, of course, Scoot Henderson, just behind him.
Well, this is a collection of maybe the most well-rounded players in our league. I mean, to see those kinds of scoring numbers from the point guard position is crazy.
Well, that's one of the biggest changes in the league over the years. Point guards are now expected to score. They have to do more than just pass.
Getting aggressive inside. DeRozan refuses to waste that opportunity.
Pass to Pickett. DeRozan against Avdia. Sharpe with it. He's been putting up the points on a very steady basis, averaging around 17.5 points a game. Just 3 to shoot. Pickett, that's good.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
Well, when you are the aggressor this early, it is intimidating.
And Minnesota has possession after the Trailblazers pick up 2. Gobert with a screen on Henderson.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Minnesota shooting their first free throws here for the night.
And really, they haven't been able to differentiate themselves from the free throw line on the season at about 76%.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Oubre is checked in. Simons, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Henderson kicks to Simons. pulls it from 20. Rudy Gobert with the rebound.
Well, if you give him that shot again, I'm willing to bet he nails it, especially with that lack of defensive effort.
Here's Cox. Henderson defending. Shoots from 12. And that one's good. Cox has got 8 points.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
Got it. Good job on the low post.
Well, when you look at what he's provided them on the offensive end, it's been an important part of why they're leading.
Pass to Pickett. To the paint. Trying to find Henderson. Gets it to him. Basket counts. He's got 8.
And he's having quite the quarter, converting at a really high percentage.
Reed the pass to Cox. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Gobert can't hit. Trailblazers have gotten 5 of 10 shots to drop in this game so far. On the floor for Portland. The perimeter pairing will be Simons next to Avdia. Then there's Isaiah Joe. Then there's Ayton. And Hendricks in at the power forward position. And each season, GA, it seems like Anthony Simons is given more and more responsibility.
And you can understand why. He's proven to be a versatile scorer. And now we're seeing him take the next step with his playmaking.
Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Goose, in their last matchup against Indiana, was terrific. Dropped in 36 points, and you love what he gives his team at both ends. He ended up with a stat line he was no doubt proud of, and I'm sure he wants to replicate it again. Kevin?
Okay, David, thanks. It'll be interesting to see, Greg, how much of that performance carries over to tonight.
And, Kevin, different scenarios call for different measures. I'm sure he'll just try to provide whatever they need for the win.
Well, I'm sure he's coming in with a lot of confidence after last game. He wants to have a repeat performance here tonight.
An update on Karl Anthony Towns' injury. Let's go over to David Aldridge.
My guys, the head athletic trainer for the Timberwolves let me know the status. Oh, that is not what you want to see. It sounds like it's a serious injury. Now, it's an unfortunate blow to them so early on in the season. We'll see how this team responds moving ahead. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thanks. Well, guys, certainly not the news his fans were hoping for.
Not at all. I mean, it sounds like he's got a long road ahead of him in terms of his recovery.
That's just awful news. You really feel for the guy, and you know everyone in the NBA family is wishing him a speedy recovery.
Pass to Williams. Like you noticed, good coaches give their players confidence. But what's the balance there between affirmation and accountability?
Well, when you believe in a player, that also comes with expectations. So a coach has to boost them up and also demand that they deliver.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Towns comes in for DeMar DeRozan. And Simmons subbed in for Kelly Oubre. Shaedon Sharpe's checked in for the Trailblazers. Henderson comes in for Isaiah Joe. For 3, Williams. Rebound by the Trailblazers. Ayton's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Sharpe. And then Sharpe with the dunk.
Oh, man. Sharpe makes that look way too easy. That's elite bounce.
Awesome rewind courtesy of the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Pass to Cox. Towns wide open. Nailed from three-point land. Towns has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Now Simon. That's good, and that evens things out for him. 50-50. 4 of 8 shooting this game.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Cox. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. Ayton's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Well, this hasn't been his quarter so far. He's really struggling to get going.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Some changes for Minnesota. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Williams. And Dillingham subbed in for Simmons. And Portland with a change here, too. Going in, he's checked in for DeAndre. Pass to Dillingham. Reed with a screen for Dillingham. And now Portland on the break. Shaw with the pass to Henderson. For Dillingham. And again, it's Portland converting.
Yeah, they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Back to Reed. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assist. DeRozan's got his third assist on the night. Portland's gone 4 of 8 tonight from three-point land, shooting 50% on the three ball here. Here's Cox. And he jams it with authority.
Oh, and he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open. Henderson for three. Reed with the rebound.
He's cooled down a little bit after draining those 2 3-pointers in the first quarter.
Here's Cox. And he converts the layup. Now it's a 4-point Timberwolves lead.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Henderson kicks to Avdia. Off target from outside.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And stolen by Simon. Simon's on the wing. Sharp against DeRozan. Short. That's good.
Yeah, and it seems like he's getting more comfortable with each bucket.
Here's Cox. Pass to Dillingham. From deep three-point land. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in. And a close game so far through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Timberwolves lead by 2. And we'll get it going after this from the Target Center.
Good to take a look at Portland. They're still a team that can be dangerous, but they're having trouble playing at their best every night. That's a lack of focus.
And moving on to the Timberwolves now. They're in the midst of a close game.
They've controlled the pace, and it's been fast, getting out in the open court and scoring.
And that about wraps it up. And as the third quarter is about to begin, we go to Kevin Harlan for the call.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to create much separation on the scoreboard yet. We've seen a tremendous game from Goose.
Well, he left his mark on that first half with his quick hands. Great sense of timing to pile up the steals.
And because of that, I expect to see a huge emphasis on ball control moving forward.
The post tandem will be Towns and Reed. Goose out there with Dillingham. And it's DeRozan in at the small forward. That's Chris Finch's 5 as we get into the second half. Launches a 3. They get it again. And that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Ayton's got it all tied up now for the Trailblazers. Pass to Cox. Fires the 3. Rebounded by DeAndre Ayton. Ayton's got his 7th rebound here tonight.
Well, halftime is supposed to be for adjustments. I'm sure this isn't what they had in mind.
Here's Cox, defended by Sharp. There's the triple. Cox, no good.
Well, 4 failed attempts to start this half. Not what they wanted out of the locker room. Yeah, his athleticism more than makes up for his lack of size. Allows him to compete even against bigger guys.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Minnesota. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum. And, of course, Portland, a few slots below them.
And I think for the Timberwolves, they've been taking no prisoners here in the early part of the season. It's been a very fast start and a lot of focus for this group.
Yeah, and it's to no one's surprise. This is a well-run, well-coached organization. They have a strong culture. They're going to be a tough out for anyone.
Sharp, just 5 on the clock. We've seen some flashes, coach, from Shaden Sharp in his career. He can get out in a hurry.
Well, look, Kevin, he is a great athlete, and when his shot starts to fall consistently, he can be electric. Right now, he's putting it together little by little. He's just got to continue to improve.
And that one drops for him. 19 points for Goose.
Yeah, he's in such a great rhythm right now. Makes sense to get him the ball any way you can.
Yeah, when you have a guy playing like he has been recently, he's got to be the first option on every possession.
In the corner, Dillingham with it. To the middle. And that one's good by Henderson. Henderson's got the lead up to 4 now for the Trailblazers.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Out to the wing. A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
And it's blocked by Cox. Got a hand on it. Pickett passes to Ayton. Stan, you've been on the bench in the NBA for many decades. What were some of your biggest pet peeves? Chris Finch calls for the timeout. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. 24 seconds left in the third quarter. A shot's good from Simons.
Man, once Simons found his rhythm, he's been non-stop.
Simmons passes to Cox. Gobert with a screen on Simon. Cox, no good. With 2 seconds left. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Portland with their lead standing at 6. We've reached the fourth quarter. What has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. And on the floor for Portland. Henderson and Simons are their guards. Then it's Avdia. Then there's Klingon, and it's Hendricks in at the floor. And it's Klingon with the jam.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Here's Cox, and they immediately answer back with the dunk at the other end.
Now that's what I call a momentum changer.
Yeah, when you've got a point guard, that kind of spring, no lead is safe.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity to finish with some authority, trying to fire his guys up.
Simons, and it's blocked by Cox. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. Here's Simons. Got it from 16 feet. And the Trailblazers lead by 8. The Timberwolves shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Here's Cox. Henderson defending. And he trains the three. Good looking shot there from Cox. Cox has got 24.
Well, that's his first three here in the second half. Gotta think he'd like a few more of those.
And Simons has got the ball here for the Trailblazers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Swinging the screen for Simons. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Cox, covered by Simons. Portland leading by 5. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Shot clock at 6. It's rebounded by Cox. Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. There's a screen by Williams. Pass to Cox. That one goes. Count it. Cox has got 7 points here in this quarter.
You know what? The switch has flipped, and he's in that proverbial zone right now, knocking down 3 of 4 here in the fourth.
Henderson kicks to Simons. Bangs home the trifecta. 21 points in the game.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
It'll go. The Portland lead is cut back down to 3 on the basket from Cox.
Well, if they can come back and take the lead, this will be because he's carrying it. This quarter's been all about him and his offense.
And so Johnson Billups calls for the timeout. And he wants to see some changes out there right away and right now. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Gobert. Karl Anthony Towns comes in for Grant Williams. DeMar DeRozan, he's checked in for Kelly Oubre. And Dillingham subbed in for Ben Simmons. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks, guys. I was able to hear Chauncey Billups coaching up his team during that break. Now it's a close one, so Coach asked his team to keep their focus. He said this game's going to come down to mistakes. If we play clean, we'll win. Great game tonight. Let's see how it winds up. Guys?
All right, thank you, David. Here's Pickett. And the shot goes in. And the Trailblazers lead by 2.
And that's right in his wheelhouse, looking to make an impact when it counts.
Well, you know this is when they lean on him, and he delivers with a much-needed score.
Pass to Reid. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's DeRozan. And it's Ayton with the rebound. Ayton's got rebound number 19 now. Incredible board work. Here's Pickett. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Hey, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Trailblazers?
Well, they've really been sharing the basketball. All coaches talk about that, try to get their teams to do it. It's really great when you see it in action.
And another thing, they continue to work it inside and score. It's clear their game plan is attacking the paint as much as possible.
And the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Well, that's a part of Sharp's game that he takes very seriously.
Timberwolves trail by 6. Now Dillingham. Dillingham gets the screen from Cox. Shoots from 12. And it's Portland with the rebound. Sharp's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Trailblazers leading by 6. Here's Henderson. An easy 2 points on the way.
Well, look, you're going to get bumps and bruises playing in this league. Henderson with a great finish through the contact.
Knocks it loose. Here's Cox. And again, unable to change momentum here. Henderson outside. Out in his own on the break. Stops. Pops. Cox.